Genius Production.
Started late last night, gave me such a fright.
Yo. Welcome back for episode 3 of the Karaha's Anti-Basketball League podcast. We got my co-host, Lenny Coop, in the house, and we got another guest. I wouldn't really call him special. He's got an Elvis Presley haircut at the moment, but it's Drizzy Dre, aka Dre, aka Drummond, aka West Fantasy Basketball player in the history of our league. Welcome. How you been?
Thank you. No, great to be here. Looking forward to it.
That's good. Well, I think we'll just crack on straight away. The first thing we want to ask was, who are you coming for this year? You were last in the league last year. Are there any players that you have highlighted that have talked shit or that you really want to go after or get revenge out this year?
Nah, not really. It was more self-inflicted damage than anything. I think probably if anyone, maybe Fuge, because he was maybe the cause of a lot of things. But yeah.
Why Fuge? What was he the cause of?
Well, just the whole controversy with Fred. Fred tried to fight me because of that. It was really bad. But,
had to take a few days off work when Fuge had his non-playing event, so I got some quite bad stress from that.
Yeah. Is he who you're gunning for, Fred, or you're not gunning for anyone?
I'm gunning for B, I think.
Oh yeah, yes,
but we'll get into B later on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not gunning for anyone. Then maybe we could talk about last year. That's what everyone wants to know. Tell us about draft day. What happened on draft day? So you turned up late. You left early. Yeah. We just want the story. We just want the insights on what happened.
Well,
it was a disastrous day for yourself.
I don't know if I really turned up late. I think so. I had a birthday party for a Mrs. Friend, and I went to that, and then I left it abruptly to come to the draft. But then after I left the draft, I know I rushed out, but I didn't go back to the birthday party. I just went home. I rushed out. I don't know, maybe the whole stress of it got to me. The fact that, how the draft went down. It was really more the Whiteside pick that was worse than anything. Obviously, in hindsight, Drummond ended up being awful. But Whiteside was truly shocking. He shouldn't have been drafted in the league, let alone in the 4th round or wherever I got him.
Was that a lack of mock drafts? Or
okay.
Yeah.
How
historical form?
How is Whiteside the worst pick when you drafted a player who wasn't even in the league?
Yeah, that's another thing. Who was that? Isaiah Thomas, wasn't it?
Yes, he drafted a player who wasn't in the league. Yes.
But that was at least, what was that, the last pick?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, okay. So I can't, okay, obviously that's awful. But at least...
What do you mean it's awful? It's like...
it's almost, it's inexcusable, I guess. I didn't know. I was watching the workout videos, in all honesty. That's what got me. That's why I drafted Dwight as well. But the thing with if you want a bombshell, the thing with the Drummond pick, so what actually happened is, and this also happened another previous year when I drafted LeBron, is I had heard Farrell talking about possibly drafting Drummond. So although I came into that day with no intentions of drafting Drummond, it literally just got the better of me. And I was like, if he's actually going to draft him, it would completely ruin everything if I did take him. And so I did it. And I shouldn't have done it. It was bad. It cost me. But I think it was the subsequent picks that cost me more, because as bad as Drummond was, he was still probably top 20 because of stocks, maybe, given that we don't do field goal, free throw percentage. But yeah, and then Russell Westbrook sitting back to backs the entire season until the day I traded him, that also fucked me. And that's literally how it went down. The day I traded him, he started playing back to backs and won back the championship. Yeah.
Was there anyone on your team that you got value from? Was there anyone that you picked that you got value from?
Nah, it was awful. I was lucky to even only finish one win behind second to last. And yeah.
Okay, and so that happened. It was horrible. You had Whiteside, Drummond, Isaiah Thomas, Dwight Howard, Russell Westbrook. I would have to say that's the worst draft anybody's ever done. It's kind of like just a person picking random players, just scrolling down, not even picking the best available players. It's worse than an auto draft. Scrolling down, because you wouldn't even have even picked Isaiah Thomas because he's not even playing in the league. It's just like picking Joe Johnson this year with your last draft, just a waste.
Thanks for the warning.
But I just wanted to ask around corruption in the league. Do you think it's still going on? And if it is, do you have any idea on who would be corrupting the league? And what are your thoughts on it?
Mainly you, if anyone was corrupting it. I know there was, Fred was jilted in the past, so there's potential, given what Farrell did last year, that Fred could maybe try something.
Okay.
But I honestly think at this point, there's too much on the line for someone to actually try to fuck everyone over. It would be probably move from being funny to being like, well, that was a complete waste of time. So I don't think anyone will actually try to fully corrupt it.
Do you miss any of the excitement from like the Wild West days?
Nah, it was too dirty, because it's like you just play a fantasy league and then it means nothing.
True.
So this is much better.
I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Maybe
Yeah,
I was just trying to corrupt everything every day. Okay, and so then who's the top 4 going into the league this year? Obviously not yourself.
Not myself, not yet. We've got to do some
would you
proving.
say? Is it the top 4 from last year, or would you say some people were unlucky, like Fred? Who's the top 4?
Well, obviously Zach's always there, even though the season before this one he didn't make the playoffs, but he's definitely there. He's got the brain for it. And for some reason AJ always drafts really well, but his brain sort of lets him down when it comes to trades, because the thing you'll notice about AJ, all jokes aside, is that if he has one bad week, he's vulnerable. If he has 2 bad weeks, you can take whatever you want from him, because he's like, I need to blow this up, I need to change something. And that's not how he should be. But he's still up there, though. He's got to be in the top 4. And then rounding out the top 4, I have to put John in there, even though he drafts awful the last 2 years that he's somehow still there. And for the 4th one, I really don't know. It depends on, I don't know anything about Renz. I don't know how good he is or what his style is. And hey, maybe it might be Kerry rounding out. He was a finalist, right?
He was a finalist.
Yeah.
Where would you put me? Top 4 last 2 years. I was into the season second.
Yeah, I've noticed you're putting a lot more effort into it. You're building spreadsheets and shit. So I don't know.
And where would you put Lenny?
I don't know. Lenny, well, his refusal to trade, he was a little more open to trading last season, but I think his refusal to trade really costs him.
I did 3 trades last year.
Yeah, I guess so. In a league where how many can't do?
Crazy.
Like 30?
Yeah, it's crazy how for Lenny that's like a pat on the back. I did 3 trades last year. And the thing is, Fred, you're not going to win the league if you don't trade unless you have just a ridiculous draft.
100%. Yeah. The only person that could have won the league without doing any trades would have been AJ, because I've never seen a team that good.
AJ drafts just ridiculously well, and he plays fantasy really well. Like him and Zach, they're really good at picking up sluts. They know who to pick up. That's just because AJ spends a stupid amount of time pre-draft and throughout the season. But he just, like you said, he's too emotional when it comes to certain players or mainly just his team. And then he just decides to blow it up. Is there okay, so those are your top 3. And then who are the worst? So who would you say you're not worried about?
I'm not worried about Farrell at all, because I know something will happen and he'll box it. I'm not worried about B at all, although I do think he might be middle of the pack, because if you guys remember, he drafted like Luka that season. He did play. He drafted Luka, and we were like, oh, that's a bit early, but it like worked out. So I think B does have some knowledge there, but I still think he's middle of the pack. going to contend.
The thing about Boyan is that he is we're all big NBA fans, but he
Yeah.
really knows players.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I don't know, but I think definitely this year,
Farrell.
gunning for last spot has to be Farrell. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So what we also want to talk about the All-Star game. You're our first guest that was on the losing team, our squad, we like to call them, kiddish chumps, or just trash. What were your thoughts on the whole day, the draft in general, and the games?
That was fucking amazing. It hyped people up so much, and it was really the thought from Fred's brain and the fact that he bought those uniforms. That was nuts. That needs to be a yearly event. It was perfect. Couldn't have gone better. As for the actual game itself, though, that is a tough pill to swallow. Mainly because Kerry was getting triple teamed, and the rest of us still couldn't score, and that really annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
That really, maybe the court was smaller. I don't know, but it's just that fucking tilts me, to be honest. So
were you tired?
Nah, not in that small court, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were team Pot Belly though. I remember looking around and we all just had bellies.
What tilts you about it was that
it just tilts me about it that literally Kerry was getting triple teamed and we couldn't score. Like that's what tilts me. When he passed out of the triple team, we couldn't do anything.
And then what about on your defensive end? Because then he was getting buckets. Zach got a couple games when he went off.
I don't think our defense was that bad, to be honest. I just think you guys hit some shots, and then obviously you did a lot of fucking driving, because we were fucking exhausting Kerry, making him do everything on. Oh, he couldn't always get back on D, and if he's not back on D, then it's pretty much game over unless we foul you, which was tilting. But
which you did intentionally. We were about to win the game.
That's right. That's we then made the rule going forward, so it was clear to everyone. And
always trying to bend the rules. Is there would you put yourself as first pick? Who?
Oh, billion%. Not even a question. I want to get this out of the way right now. AJ had nothing to do with you guys winning. Forget his defensive stats. Forget his stupid steals. He is probably maybe like fourth pick.
So then what? How did we win then? Was it? So you're saying you played good defense? Is it just because you guys couldn't hit shots? Is that what you're saying?
That and you guys hit your shots. That's basically it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. AJ's defense had I think probably less than zero. It was actually sort of bad defense. It helped. It made the games closer for us. That's my honest opinion as someone who was playing against it.
Okay, so you think you're first pick?
Yeah, 100%.
And so you think Kidder would pick you first?
I think after what he's seen last time, it would be hard not to. You know
okay, because if Kidder gets first pick and you go off the board, and then I have the next two, there's no way. Like, how does the outcome change? Do you just suddenly start hitting more shots? Like what?
Oh, because you get the next 2A. So it's basically
pretty much be the same teams as last year if that happens, wouldn't it?
Pretty much.
Well, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it would just be me swapped for Zach, really. But see, we got the two new players this time, so that could be big because Ren's is a body. So
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Where does Renz go in the draft?
Oh, that depends because neither of you know what he balls like. All you know is he's a big body.
Do you know?
Nah, Fred, you know though, right?
Yeah, like he can ball.
He's like, pretty much just like me or Fred or Zach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say like 4 or 5.
So he might affect the game a little bit.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, the games weren't close.
I disagree.
I think when we won, they were mainly beatdowns. Like they weren't close. When you won the 2 games up to 15, they were close.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of it. There wasn't even a doubt in my mind. Like after the first probably 5 minutes of the first game, there was no way we were going to lose, and that was just the reality of it.
See,
Anytime Kitty wasn't in the paint, I knew that it was just easy pickings. Like it wasn't.
the difference this time is there's going to be a secret weapon. There's a man that is going to be training pretty much daily, putting in work to basically shut you down, and his name is B. So that's
a good point. What if I pick him?
Oh, you wouldn't do that. That would be so stupid. You're not going to pick
I
B.
don't think Kitty takes him.
Has B started training at all?
But
Like
let's say,
now? Or?
I don't know if he has.
You think he actually will train? Is he?
Yeah.
Has he still got it in him to do it?
Yeah, 100%.
He'll train. Yeah. Oh, he'll train all right.
The thing about Boyano, and that was actually our next topic, but the thing, and I talked about it last time, is that he is not in a good state. Even if he does train, I can't see him lasting more than 5 minutes.
His knees injuries are a problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't walk, basically.
Damn.
But this is his last hurrah.
But yeah, he'll train like crazy. And last draft, I put through a few scenarios on what my team would look like, and this year I'll do the same. And it might be in it. But if Kidder takes you first and not AJ, then there's no way that I would lose. Like it's just
so
too
you
easy.
think? But then, if he takes AJ first, then you're even more gonna win.
No, because then I'll probably have to take you.
Have to. Be so lucky.
And that's interesting. So tell us about B. So you think he's going to train crazy just to shut me down? Yep.
And the thing is, at least he's going to try, and hopefully he just picks you up full court.
Yeah, and I hope he does too, because it's interesting when we played you a couple of times, like Khan and John tried to pick me up early, and then I would just pass to AJ, and he was just fine to dribble it down. And if B picks me up, then I could just give to AJ. But I don't think B's going to have the knees to.
That's the question.
Guard me for
because he
games.
He says when he plays now, the next day he can barely walk. So I know he'll do that sacrifice. The question is, can his knees take it on the day? That's the question.
Did anyone see him when he was 92 kgs, like he said, or was?
Yeah, he was gross, bro. I was real depressed when I looked at him because
massive, like when you're 5'6" and 92 kgs, that's like a ball.
The fatty.
Yeah, it's the thing is when because he's 5'5", so that's all he has. That's how ripped he was, and then and it was such a big part of his life. And the fact that when he lost the rippedness, and he was balding, he had a big belly, and I was just depressed. I had to get out of his house. I couldn't stand to see him like that. I just felt like stomping him out, putting him out of his misery, But he's way better now. He's
turned it around.
Yeah.
He's turned it around. Yeah, he's not bad anymore. Yeah.
Can you give us a little bit of insight into his mindset, in terms of basketball and gaming? Is he the type of person to look in the mirror with the Zoolander look, or
So
I can give a story. Around and why Dre's saying that he's going to do everything he can to guard me, because every time I play against him, he just goes kind of crazy and just 100% on me. But so Dre, B, and I, we did this fitness training with this guy. We did weights and stuff. I'd only ever done weights with Dre, whatever, and I outbenched B, which I should, because he's 5'5", and he made it his life goal to beat me in the bench press. So I think I got 115 or something like that. It wasn't anything high. And he trained, was it for 2 years, Dre?
Yeah, man.
Almost daily. And then
it was daily. It was daily.
Yeah, daily.
Yeah.
Trained 2 years daily, so he could bench 120. And then when he did it, he was like, cool, done. I beat David.
Yeah.
And I was just his motivation. So that's a little bit about how his mind works. And so when Dre says the secret weapon is that he was going to train every day to do everything he can to stop me, it's not like an over exaggeration. Over exaggeration. It doesn't make sense. An exaggeration. That's just what's going to happen.
Yeah. We'll see what the result of that training is, but the training will happen.
And B would say he is the best player in our team out of everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would he say he's better than Kere?
He's never seen Kerry play, so
I think he said he was better in the chat, but it's
he
hard to
might
tell.
have. But the thing is, now I don't know if he'd say that just because of the limits of his body.
Mm-hmm.
Prime, he'd definitely say yeah, without a question. But I'm not 100% confident he'd say it now.
But even in his prime, I know, David, you were saying that he was like the 4th or 5th best player on the teams that you played in. Or was that not his prime?
Well, so I've played, and same with Dre, we've played in a lot of leagues with B. And so in our team, so like we played like YTech League, and we're playing against like good players like Houston Charles, so on and so forth. And it was like, and we did good, like we'd beat them sometimes. We never got hidings, but there was a clear hierarchy in the teams, and it went Leiden, then me. But this is just my view anyway, on who got the shots, who got buckets, who had the ball in their hands most of the time. And then it probably went, I don't know who else. But would you say B was 3rd, Dre? Or
just didn't shoot. He had the ball in his hands, but he never took shots or scored.
And it's also interesting because there was lots of like random arguments. Like B would just get angry sometimes on the court, and we'd say, Boyan, like, you don't make that pass. Like if he'll throw like a turnover, I'll get 3 turnovers in a row. Be like, what are you doing? And he'll just blame it on someone else. Like, oh, it's because he's not running. And I don't know, maybe that's true. Maybe we're wrong. But if you're getting 3 turnovers, it's not because they're running. It's because you're passing and you don't know they're not going to run. But anyway.
He rates his passes as like the best ever. So you might get him to concede that he's not the best player, but you'll never get him to say he's not the best passer you've ever seen. You'll never get that ever.
He said that he could jump on the NBA court and like do all good.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't be like the best player, but he reckoned he could play an NBA game. That's how good. That's like that's his mindset. Like,
so does that make him almost like an asset to one of these teams and going into this game?
I think so. I would say so. Yeah. I mean, think about it. It's better than the opposite mindset of saying I'm nothing, I can't play. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mindset-wise, definitely.
Especially on defense, because he'll say, "Oh, I'm locking this player up." Like on me, he'll say, "I'm locking David up," and he'll just do everything he can to lock me up. So it's definitely an asset. Is in their primes, who was better, AJ or B?
Depends, because AJ's finishing's always been trash, but mind you, so was B's. So I don't know. That's a tough one.
Would they be equal?
That's a tough one. Possibly give AJ pip B at the post.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Oh yeah.
I think I might have to, because I guess I've seen AJ's prime. I guess I've seen sort of both their primes. Yeah.
Let's go. Okay.
And that's AJ as like an 18-year-old. Who knows if AJ played as much as B did? Probably assassin.
Yeah, that's true.
B's not going to be happy with that.
That's crazy.
Do you watch these?
I don't know.
What's in this net? So then in primes, obviously Kid is the best. Then and because we talked about the primes last time, and AJ said like you were probably up there, but I was trying to say, I don't know if you listened to it, but I was like, Dre's prime is that he can a little bit faster, can jump a little bit higher and shoot a little bit better. But like it's probably not as drastic as like John or something, who's just a fat dude now, or like Kid who just was like dunking on everyone. So in the primes, who would you rank like the top? Well, rank from 1 to 10 if you could quickly.
Well, it had to be Kerry, because he's obviously JTB, right? Then you, then AJ and I have always had a rivalry, so I have to put myself ahead of him then I guess, yeah, so me then AJ. Oh, actually, keep in mind, I've never seen John play, so I have no idea. All I have is the KFBL, so he's firmly last place if we're talking primes. Just below Farrell. Just below prime Farrell. What else? So that was, I gave you your top 4.
So A saying in your prime, you're better than B's prime?
Yeah, well, B can't beat me in a one-on-one. The dude doesn't score. For me, I don't rate. If you can't score, you're useless in my eyes. Because defense, I don't care what anyone says about defense. You can anyone can play defense. You just have to try. That's it. End of story. That's all I care about defense. And as for passing, like anyone can pass. But if you can, only really good players can score. That's it. That's how I rate it. Whatever your points per game is, that's how good you are.
So you've got Kerry, Dave, yourself, AJ, John, then Zach.
I'd have to put Zach above John because I've never seen John's prime. Yeah, but yes. Zach, then probably Fred. Yeah, am I missing someone?
That is Khan and John.
Oh, yeah. But again, Khan, I've never seen his prime. I played against him once in the ASB League, or twice maybe, I think. Yeah. But he's that hothead. That's why I was so glad he's on my team, just in case he blows up. I don't want him blowing up.
He was quite chilled in the game, though.
He was really chilled.
Yeah.
No one set him off.
Maybe we'll need to change that tactic. I know, like last game, because I had to go to my rugby league, I was just like, that was probably, I really get in that mindset where like, fuck, we just got to win. And I was just like, just taking it every time. But yeah, I don't see Team Kid ever winning.
Keep in mind, I guess Demos was blowing up. So if you're talking about primes, I've seen David take over, but the fact the resume has to speak for itself, and the fact that Kerry was JTB's, that's got to take the cake. Even though I've seen Demos play way more than I've seen Kerry play. But yeah.
Kid is the better player in the prime. Like his best is definitely better than mine. But yeah, it's I don't know if you got any more questions or do you got anything else to?
Oh, that's fair enough. I think this was a good chat.
Talk about. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where you go this year. It's your last season was well documented as the worst. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. How many mock drafts have you done?
Probably about 30.
Okay.
I've done my homework.
Yeah. I haven't done that many mock drafts. I've probably done like one full one.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't do many last year. I just do my research. Do you do your own projections or no?
Nah, not at all. Not interested.
Okay, cool. You just use do you use #basketball? Or who would you use? ESPN's, Yahoo's, Fantrax?
I have a few things I use. We'll just leave it at that, shall we?
Okay.
Do you think having the draft like live versus everyone just at their own house affects picks at all? Like,
possibly. Well, think about it. Would have affected it last year. I never would have heard Farrell say he was thinking about Drummond. So yeah, I guess you're right. It does affect it.
Big brain moves. Okay. Well, thank you, Drizzy.
Shots,
That was a good chat.
Thanks, everybody.
No doubt the podcast will be released in 3 weeks. Peace.
All right, goddamn GG. See ya.
See you.
Yeah.
Genius Production.
Started late last night, gave me such a fright. Why can't everything be alright?